feels like it's been so long since I have made a video for you up here in the sewing room. It's actually been about 3 weeks personal time since I've been up here filming something for you. I have been working up here though, and so I want to show you all the projects I've been working on off camera while the construction downstairs has been happening and is still going on. We got really close to being done, and we got out our new tub to install, and it was broken in the shipping. So we have a very cracked tub. I am going to do a video for you so you can see how neat that looks. But today, let me show you the things I've been working on. I'm wearing my laundry day tee. I did a video comparing this and the Savannah from Sonia Estep. Anything that I reference that I've sewn before will be linked below, the videos for it. So if you want to sew it or see what happened in the making of that project, it will be linked down in the description. While I have been up here sewing, I have been doing repeats. So I have made this pattern a couple more times, which I'm going to show you. I've also, well, let me just do a quick fashion show. And I'll just show you what I've been up to. Here's my scraps, and I have about a yard of this. It's panels, and I have close to that of this. This is definitely going to become like a raglan shirt where I add another fabric to it and have another tee. This one, I don't know. It's got this huge, well, you'll see. Let's go sew. First thing, we're going to thread up with our pink thread because it's going to be the easiest, I think. So if it's that or white. We're going to start with alterations. I made 2 of these little cami tops to wear under everything. It's a quick sew pattern and I love it. I have one that's just the regular little round neck, and then I did this one that's sort of V-necked with the lace. I found whenever I put them on, the armhole gapped so much if it didn't lay smoothly underneath. So I have darted both of these. I put a nice big deep dart and I just put it on. The dart's a little low here. I put it on and I just pinned and pinned it multiple times to get it to lay right, and you want your darts to point right at the bust point, and this one does not. However, it lays nice under the clothes. If this were something I were going to be wearing, of course I'm showing everyone on the internet, but if this is something I'm wearing every day out, I would probably reshape the armhole completely and still have to put in a dart though. It is spandex, it's super stretchy, and I could have made it tighter. However, it doesn't always lay as smooth and it tends to roll, and I wanted it soft and loose and easy to tuck in, and it does have elastic lace on it too. So this is the prettier of the 2. They both have darts in them now, and I am so much happier with them. And this was a little 3-minute fix to get both of them where they fit better, and it is so worth that little alteration. Okay, let me show you the cute things. Okay, this is from the Mood haul that I did a little while back. It's the laundry day tee, and I made it pretty long. I've actually made 2 of these. You're getting ready to see the next one. I made them nice and long so I could actually wear them with leggings. I'm wearing it with like a really slim-legged jean this time and a little wedge sandal. But you can see how cute it is. I love these tees. I just think they lay perfectly. I also like, this is my preferred sleeve length if I'm going short sleeve. It's nice and fitted through the upper torso, and then it flares slightly, and I just think they're great. Now this one was a paneled fabric, so I had to, when laying it out, I had to be more careful. I had to slightly narrow the hip on this one to get it to fit in the panel, but you can see it's plenty big enough. It fits fine, and I did do the measurements to make sure that it would fit with me narrowing the hip. What do you think of this fabric? Isn't it wild? But I really love it. I thought this mod fabric was so cute. I was going to do this in a different pattern that we are going to do next week. I do have a sewing video next week that I'm working on, so I'm excited about that. And I was originally going to make this in that pattern, and I decided, you know what, I love the fabric so much, I want to make it something I'll wear all the time. Okay, let me show you the other laundry day I made. This time when I made the laundry day, the fabric was a lot different. The first one was a much more firm hand, super nice, stretchy spandex and cotton. This one also has a tiny bit of spandex and is cotton, but it has a super soft hand. I had more of this because it wasn't in panels, it was in yards. So this one's even longer and fuller because I just had the fabric for you. So you can see how full it is. It could technically even be worn like a dress. But again, I wanted to be able to wear it with these little leggings that I have that I hardly ever wear, but they're so comfy and easy to throw on. The weight of this fabric reminds me of a pajama top almost. And I could see wearing this like a little nightgown too would certainly be an option. But you can see how long it is in the back, which is one of the things I like, the high-low. I often do a high-low because of my posture and the way I wear my weight. If I don't adjust for, make an adjustment for that in the hem tends to dip up in the back because I'm full in the rear. And I've had 3 back surgeries. I tend to, as the day goes, I tend to lean forward. I have to be very careful about that. I have to think about it a lot because my back aches. And you will see it in my posture. I will start to show that in my posture, and it can affect my hem. But if I do a high-low that's meant to be high-low, it takes care of those 2 issues that I often find with my clothing. So this is the other laundry day. I love this. I just love this pattern. I have a couple of t-shirts that I use all the time. The game day, it's called My Favorite Raglan, which is one I drafted myself, but I have a video on it. And this laundry day, I have so many t-shirts, which is what I pretty much live in when I'm in the house, or running a quick errand to the store or something. I could go out like this and not be too embarrassed. All right, let me show you the next thing. Okay, another repeat, and it actually was hanging back there on that dress form, is the Amahle dress. Now, I've made this dress before, and I wear it so much more than I expected. When I made the first one in this butterfly fabric, I bought the fabric, and when I got it, I didn't love it, and it sat in my stash for a while. And I thought, well, I'm going to test it on this Amahle because I had so much of it. And I've worn that butterfly fabric, even though I don't really care for the fabric. You don't notice the butterfly. I'm not a big butterfly fan on fabrics for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but I love that dress. I have worn it so much, and it's just a cotton knit, just a t-shirt knit. So this one is a poly knit. I have belted it. I thought I had grabbed my navy belt, but I grabbed the black belt. So the belt does not match, but they're the same belt, just in 2 different colors. And in my closet, I didn't turn the light on. I should have. So this is it belted. I've got it with my little wedge again. And you can see how full it is. This is a very fast sew, and I think it's super flattering. And one of the nice things is you can belt it like I have it, or you can wear it unbelted. So it really works with all figures. This is one of those, if you're buying a Vogue pattern and it has the figure types, this is one that would work for all figures. It is so versatile. See how full it is? This is a great one. This is to me is like a vacation dress. And because of this poly knit, it travels great. Like you can throw this in a suitcase and it'll come out looking great. And it could be a wash and wear, real easy to wear. And I'm pretty sure I've forgotten where this one came. Oh no, I think this came from the OKC Fabric Mart. This fabric did. This was one of those fabrics. I'm sewing up my stash, which is what I've been doing off camera. That's 3 fabrics out of my stash that got sewn up. Next week, we're sewing up some more out of my stash. I forgot to mention, it does have a pocket. Just in the right side, but I always like to have a pocket in my dresses. Costume change. Hobby Lobby had their fabrics on sale last week, and I ran in to get the interlining for those curtains while it was 40% off, and I picked up this. I'm going to make pillowcases for the primary bedroom out of this, and it's just a really pretty cotton. It's a quilter's cotton, but I do make sort of custom pillowcases often. One of my very first sewing videos on here is like an hour and a half long pillowcase video. And the thing that made it so long was not the sewing of the pillowcases, but I showed multiple ways to make pillowcases, and I showed multiple seam finishes. So there's serging, there's zigzagging, there's French seams, there's mock French seams, all in that very first video. It was actually 3 moves ago when we lived in Moore, Oklahoma. We lived in the Moore, Oklahoma City area for 17 years, loved that area. And that is my sewing room from back then when all of my children still lived at home, when I still was teaching sewing in the classroom. I made that video. And actually my son, who was like 12 at the time, I want to say, 12, 13, he did a lot of the camera work for that video, which was really kind. Here's the other fabric I bought. This is just sort of almost like a canvas. It's on the same rack that has dobbies and that sort of thing. And I love this fabric for making kitchen tea towels. And I'm going to make a couple sets of towels out of this. I bought, I think, 1.5 yards. I've forgotten, but I bought enough to get 4 large-sized kitchen towels out of. I'm going to take 2 to my kid when I visit them in Chicago this month, and I'm going to keep 2 because we both like these cute, fun, colorful things, and it's got toadstools. Isn't that cute? So kitchen towels. Those are also 2 things that I'm going to be sewing probably this week while more construction's happening downstairs. Okay, the last thing that I did was curtains for my dining room. This fabric has been in my stash for over 2 years. When I bought the fabric, I just loved the fabric and it was on sale. And when I bought it, I was going to make it for my bedroom. And then when we decorated and finished the dining room, the fabric matched the wallpaper perfectly, and they were of the same, they sort of have a chinoiserie look to them. They just were meant to be together. So I went and picked up my interlining, so because it's really a cotton. It's not a heavy drapery weight, which I would have preferred. But I was also like, it's inexpensive. It's in my stash. I'm going to make curtains. I can turn to something later. They're 8-foot long curtains. It took me a little while, and I have a little clip I'm going to show you, and I want to say, when you see the clip of me, we're talking a little bit about making these curtains. I have the fabric folded in the wrong order. The layers were wrong, and I didn't know it till after I sewed up all of the curtains and then went to flip them and realized I had folded it wrong, and I had to rip out 4 inches at the top and the bottom of all the curtains and redo the layering so that the lining was in the right position. So when I flipped it, the lining went to the inside instead of to the outside. One of those, my brain was somewhere else, wasn't really thinking it through. But here is the dining room and the curtains that I made. I am sewing 8-foot long curtain panels, 3 layers, my decorative fabric, my lining, and an interlining. And I can tell you that if I did not have this even feed foot or a walking foot, it would be so difficult to sew these long panels and not get a lot of movement between those 3 layers. Well, thanks for hanging out with me in the sewing room today. I'm very excited next week to be back in the sewing room doing a regular sewing video with you. It's going to be an easy, fun summer project, and I'm excited to get back together and sew with you again next week. See you next week for another fun video.